Thank you, Hindi team. And now it is a time for the English session. Today is our 2130th day of continuous webinar. Before beginning the session, we will have a silent prayer. Good evening and welcome once again. Thank you all the participants for joining with us. Today is our 2130th day of continuous webinar. Today's our speaker is Dr. Swati. She is MD in Homeopathy, Assistant Professor in the Department of Materia Medica, Rajkot Homeopathic Medical College, Parel University, Gujarat. Dr. Swati, have you, Swati, make you. Dr. Swati.
Okay, so first of all, very happy Doctors' Day to all of us.
Yeah, happy Doctor's Day.
Okay, so this is the time for our gratitude. Thanks to the IFPH as well as our college, who are always promoting the homeopathy as well as their faculties member to promote at this big level or this big platform. Okay, so today's my topic is the clinician's compass, finding your way through the homeopathic literature. Okay, so why this topic? Till now we have seen various type of the webinars when we have discussed the various type of the case reports. We have studied various aspect of the organon as well. So for this all the things we have to go through our literature first, because our literature is the base of this all the topics, all the talks we are delivering or we are learning through our homeopathic years. So the topic is the clinician's compass. So compass, we know that compass is the thing which directs us towards our right direction. So homeopathic literature is the most important to write through our right direction for the prescribing the simillimum medicine, or to learn the organon philosophy, or to repertorize effectively.
Doctor, now it is the first slide. Okay.
Okay. So I will start my presentation with one quote from the Dine Duane. The quote is, the reading one book is like eating one potato chip. We all are familiar with the packet of the potato chips. Whenever we open it, we cannot stop it until we finish it. So to read any book, we first of all we have to start any one book. Then we can go through the homeopathic literature. Otherwise, we are not adequate to read all the things. So it is a request to all the students as well as our faculty or the homeopathic fraternity. If you are not reading, then just start reading. Start with the single book. Then you will go through that one also. Then this is the one type of the disclaimer that during this whole session, this is a not promotion for any publisher or the author. It is a solely for the information or awareness that these type of the homeopathic literatures are available, or this type of the homeopathic books we can read. So to start with, your first homeopathic bookshelf. So whenever any student is getting the admission in the homeopathy field, or we are building library for ourselves, which type of the book we should have? So the first homeopathic bookshelf itself suggests that we should have the books which encourage us to do practice homeopathy, which encourage us to do the right path to deliver our knowledge as well as to the patient. So in this list, there are 7 books which I have find very useful. So one of them is the 50 Reasons for Being a Homeopath, okay, which is written by the Dr. Jan Burnett. So what is the given in this book? In this given book, Dr. Burnett has prescribed 50 remedies, 50 cases in which he has find difficulties and deliver very good result in that, so that any beginner homeopath can find the confidence in themselves. Then there is another book by the Dr. Koptikar, which says that the clinical experience of the 70 years the homeopathy. In this book, Dr. S. Kopikar has written the various cases as well as the various philosophy of the organon, which we can find helpful in our daily life. Then there is a 40 year of the experience by Dr. Jack. In this is not the very first the bookshelf. This is not for the beginner as well, because it has a very hard language, but it has mainly the therapeutic purpose for that. Then there is a next book, which is the What We Must Not Do in Homeopathy by Dr. Fortier Bernoulli. So in this book, there is again the organon philosophy as well. Then which are the precautions we should take while prescribing any type of medicine, or which type of the steps we should deliver whenever we are taking the prescribing any medicine. Then there is a book called A Compend of the Principles of the Homeopathy by Dr. William Borick. In this book, Dr. William Borick has simplified our Hahnemann Sir's various principles in very easy language. So any student or any practitioner find it very easy to comprehend. Then there is a book called Symphony of the Homeopathy by Dr. S.G. Biju. So this book is a unique features that it has also the clinical experience of the author, as well as it has the organon philosophy. But also in this book, doctor has prescribed wherever he has done the mistake in deliver any type of the medicines or for the prescription of the any medicine, or whatever the difficulties Dr. Biju has faced during their beginner's time. So basically we can see it that this is the life story of Dr. S.G. Biju, that how he had turned into the practitioner, a very beautiful practitioner in the homeopathy field. Then there is a very small booklet, hardly it has any 10 to 11 pages. So the book name is What is Homeopathy by Dr. S.R. Vadia. So this is the hardly 10 pages in which our whole the homeopathy, trust of the homeopathy is explained in very easy language. So these are the books any beginner should first read. Moving towards the next slide. Who was Dr. Hahnemann really? Today's Doctor's Day. We have grateful for the Master Hahnemann. On the day of 10th April, we appreciate Dr. Hahnemann because only because of him we have come and we have delivered our admission in the homeopathic field. But how many times we have read the biography of the Dr. Hahnemann? There are various books which has beautifully explained the biography of the Dr. Hahnemann. Some of them are here. The first one is the Samuel Hahnemann, his Life and Times by Dr. Trevor Cook. Then the Life and Letters of the Dr. Samuel Hahnemann by Dr. Bradford. Then there is a two books by In Search of the Letter Hahnemann by Dr. Rima Henley, as well as a homeopathic love story. The Story of the Samuel Hahnemann, also by the Rima Henley. Then there is a book called The Samuel Hahnemann, His Life and Work, Richard Hell. So in the book of In Search of the Letter Hahnemann, Rima Hadley has prescribed of how we should prescribe the alum potencies. The last year case studies of our Dr. Hahnemann has been explained in this book. Then in the book of the homeopathic love story, the story of Dr. Samuel as well as the Melanie has been explained in this book. Then there are the other four books, in which books Master has suggested what type of the difficulties our Master has faced, how Dr. Hahnemann has converted into the homeopathy from the allopathic physician. We all know the story of the cinchona bark, but there are many real life incidences of the Dr. Hahnemann are explained in these books. There is a one funny incident in one of these books is that Dr. Hahnemann, where he has left his practice of allopathy. Then that time he was so poor that he has to wash his clothes with the starch which is made from the potato. So these type of the incidents are explained in this book, as well as there is a one beautiful case scenario is that at every evening Dr. Hahnemann with his first wife spend very beautiful time. So in from these incidents we can understand that this type of things we should have our work life balance. And there is a two another phrase, there is Odes Sapere as well as the Callet's poem from the first organon of the medicine. So how Master has become the dare to be wise. We can learn all these things from by reading the biography of the Dr. Hahnemann. So these all are the books that we should read to understand our Master Dr. Hahnemann and to understand his thought process, that how he has converted or how he has been promoted the homeopathy. We all know the criticism faced by the Humfland. Okay, criticism made by the Dr. Humfland, that how the Dr. Hahnemann has approached that. Even there was a one time that when the homeopathy was banned, but Master Hahnemann has fight through it and survived for our homeopathy. Then there is a next section which says patient narrative to the prescription. So this guides through to the books which are required to improve our case taking. So there is a one case scenario. If you are taking the case of any patient, then the patient is describing his or her feelings. Like the patient has said, my father has died. Then the patient takes the 4 seconds of the pause. Okay. So whenever you are, if you are taking the case, and you can feel that energy, or you can observe that what type of the criticism or what type of the behavior was created by the patient, then we can understand what are the observation we should take while taking the case. So in this, there is the first book, Homeopathic Case Taking and the Management by Dr. Kasim Chin Thanwala, which just says it is an art indeed that we must, we homeopath must, there is a one famous quote by the Elizabeth Wright, and the well taken case is a half cured. So how to improve our case taking? What type of the question we should ask the patient? What type of the observation we should make during the case taking? No doubt, these all are the guidelines given in the organon of medicine itself. But these are the books which by which we can review the opinion of the different authors or what are the difficulties they have faced in their life. So the second book is the Pediatric Case Taking and the Prescription with a detailed case record, discussion and the illustration by Jonathan Shore. In this book, Jonathan Shore has given the live cases, like in way of the conversation, what the patient has given answer and what the physician has asked the question. Then there is a book called The Art of the Case Taking and the Interrogation, including the other reservoirs by Pierre Smith. In this book, there are very beautiful cases that Dr. Pierre Smith has the marked difficulty during the observation. Then there is a book called The How to Take the Case and Find the Simillimum by the E.B. Nash. Then there are the book The Study of the Matriamedic and Taking the Case, C.M. Boger. The Significance of the Past History in Homeopathic Prescribing by the Foibster. Then The Patient, Not the Cure by Margaret Blackie. Symptoms, Their Study or How to Take the Case by Carol Dunham. The Art of the Case Taking and Practical Repertorization in the Homeopathy by Dr. R.P. Patel. Then there is a Homeopathic, a Systematic of the Case Record by Datta, and the Science and Art of the Homeopathic Case Taking by Dr. Ashish Datta. So in the book, The Significance of the Past History in Homeopathic Prescribing, Dr. Foibster has explained the importance of the past history in during the case taking. So what is the importance of the past history whenever we are taking the case? In the book Margaret Blackie, The Patient Not the Cure, Margaret Blackie was one of the famous physician. She was the chief physician of the Queen Elizabeth. She has explained in this book that what are the difficulties we face as a homeopath while taking the case. Then in the book, The Science and Art of the Homeopathic Case Taking by Ashish Datta, Dr. Ashish Datta has compiled the view of various pioneers in a single book, like which is mainly asked in the exam. Write down the case taking by Dr. K. Write down the case taking by Dr. Write down the case taking by the Dr. Boger. So in this book, in a single book, Dr. Ashish Datta has compiled all the views of the our homeopathic physicians. Then let's move forward to the Matria Medica. How the foundation of the Matria Medica is built. Any student has, whenever taking the admission in the first year or in the MD, there are some important introductory questions which are being asked, either whichever the year is, like what is the definition of the Matria Medica, history of the Matria Medica, what are the different ways to study Matria Medica, what are the sources of the Matria Medica, what are the types of the Matria Medica. To read all these questions, students must go through all these books, because in all these books, the introductory questions are given very efficiently that any student can write in their exams. So in this first book, The Homeopathic Matra Medica by Dr. Ramji Singh. In this book, Dr. Ramji Singh has given all these introductory question as well as the compilation of the various books, which is the chronic disease, fragmentary viribus, that how we should read that book or what is the content of this book. Then there is a book called the Textbook of the Homeopathic Matra Medica, T.C. Mandal. This book is available in a 2 volume, volume 1 and 2. Also in these books, there are the introductory question given as well as various medicines are given in full detail. Then there is a GEMS, Textbook of the Homeopathic Matra Medica by Dr. J.D. Patil, Introduction to the Matra Medica by Dr. Nagendra Babu, and as well as Homeopathic Matra Medica by Beena Mandal. In all these books, introductory questions are given. Then, beyond basics, books that build intuition to study the Matra Medica. Any students are aware with the Dubey Matra Medica, Allen's Keynote, Boric Matra Medica, Fatak Matra Medica, Kent Matra Medica. So all these books are the basics which we use in our daily life. But there are many other books which will be useful for us to understand Matra Medica in very easy language. So in this, first book is the Homeopathic Psychology by Philip Bailey. In this book, hardly 50 medicines are given, but each medicine is given with their psychological aspect. So as example, the Natramur is given in this book. So Natramur throughout her childhood, her adult life, or in her old age, what type of the behavior the Natramur patient will give, we can procure from this book. Then there is a book called The Portrait of the Homeopathic Medicine by Catherine Coulter. In this book is available also in the 3 volume, which is a kind of similar with the Homeopathic Psychology by Bailey. Then there is a book called Homeopathic Drug Pictures by Dr. M.L. Tyler. In this book, total, I think 125 medicines are given. But what is the peculiarity of this group? What is the peculiarity of this book? In this book, Dr. Margaret Tyler has compiled from the proving symptoms, as well as she has given the case of her own. Like there are the symptoms from the Hahnemann's proving, which is written as the black letter symptoms. So we can find out what is the importance of the black letter symptoms. Then there is a book called The Pointers to the Common Remedies by Dr. M.L. Tyler. And the next book is The Plain Talks on the Matra Medica by Dr. William Pierce. In this Matra Medica, Dr. Pierce, the first part of the book is given as a repertory, and the second part, Dr. Pierce has given some medicines, which is a very easy to understand. Then there is a book called The Absolute Homeopathic Matra Medica by Dr. Ajit Kulkarni and Iswardas Targas. Then the Pulford Matra Medica of graphic drug pictures. Pulford Matra Medica is a very useful book. Also in this book, hardly there are 100 or 125 medicines are given, but each medicine has been given in their full extent, like as a full graphic picture with the genius of that particular remedy. Then there is a book called The Manual of the Matra Medica, Therapeutics and Pharmacology with Clinical Index by Blackwood. So what is the peculiarity of this book? Dr. Blackwood has given the active principle as well as the physiological action of the particular medicines, how that medicine will work in the human body, then which will be followed by the symptoms of that particular medicine. Then there are the 3 books which hardly any of us use now. First one is The Master Key to Homeopathic Matra Medica by Dr. K.C. Bhanja. Then there is another book by the homeopathic prescriber by Dr. K.C. Bhanja. In the first book, which is The Master Key to the Homeopathic Matra Medica, Dr. Bhanja has given first of all the general symptoms like mental general symptoms, then followed by the physical general symptoms. After that, he has given the particulars of that medicine. As example, if we are taking the example of the abrotenum medicine, so whenever the abrotenum will start, there will be the first introduction about the abrotenum. Then the general symptoms, which are either the mental or the physical general symptoms of the abrotenum, followed by the particulars. Like we all know that there are some short notes which are favorite of any examiner, which will be asked in the exam, like abrotenum rheumatism, abrotenum emaciation, abrotenum suppressed discharges. So the first, these all the things will be explained in this book. Then followed by the particulars head to foot. Then the homeopathic prescriber. In this book, Dr. K.C. Bhanja has given some cases by Dr. Hahnemann and explained them. In the book Systematic Matra Medica of the Homeopathic Remedies by K.N. Mathur, Dr. K.N. Mathur has given the Systematic Matra Medica with the cases as well as the differentiation of the different remedies. Like if there is a rheumatism of the Rustox, Dr. Mathur has explained what is the rheumatism of the Rustox as well as what is the rheumatism of the Brana. What is the difference between these two remedies? Then there is a book called The Remedies in Verse, Dr. Kirpal Singh. In this book, total 50 medicines are given, but it is given in the poem way. So we any student can easily remember this type of the medicines. Then there is a book, a textbook of the Matra Medica by Copperwaite, a synoptic key to the Matra Medica by Dr. Boger. All the students read mostly these books. Then there is a Borix Regional Matra Medica. We all are acquainted with the Borix Matra Medica. But what is the given in the Regional Matra Medica? It is a basically Borix Matra Medica itself. But in this book, all the symptoms of the head are given in a particular chapter. Like head symptoms of the abrotenum, followed by the head symptoms of the allosocotrina. So book is divided in like a head, nose. If any students want to compare the head symptoms of the different medicines, then he or she can use this book. Then there is a book called The Synoptic Memorizer of the Matra Medica by S.K. Banerjee. In this book, various mnemonics are given, and it is given in a very easy language. And this book is also available in the 2 parts. Then let's move forward to the keynote. So the first keynote book is by Gunther, then Adolf von Lippe, and various books by the Allen's keynote. It is mainly based on the Allen's keynote itself, but each book has its own peculiarities. Like the first one you are seeing on the screen, which is the prescriber to the Allen's keynote and characteristic. This book is arranged in the repertory manner, like a head symptoms of the all the medicines given in the Allen's keynote are given first, then followed by the nose symptom. Then there is the second book, Dictionary of the Allen's keynote by Dr. Subhash Singh. Many students in the first year find difficulty for the vocabulary, like they are having the very English words, or there is all the terminology in our medicines, which is now converted into the new terminology. So this all the terminologies with the easy explanation are given in this book, which will be based on the Allen's keynotes medicine. Then there is a 2 Allen's keynotes are available as such. One with the blue cover and second one is the red cover. So what is the peculiarity in the Allen's keynote? In this book, all the medicines are given without division in between them. While we read the Allen's keynote rearranged and classified, all the symptoms are given with the particular heading, like the constitution, physical constitution, head, nose symptom, but which is not given in the previous H.C. Allen's keynote symptoms. Then there is a nosode by the H.C. Allen, in which there are 15 to 20 nosodes are explained by Dr. H.C. Allen in this book. Then these are some books which we can use for the to read the rare remedies or the medicines which are less prescribed. So in this series, the first book is by the Oscar Hansen. There is a textbook of the Matra Medica and Therapeutics of rare homeopathic remedies. Like there are some remedies which are not fully proven or which are mainly used as a pathognomic, which are mainly used as a pathogenetic Matra Medica. Then there is a book called the E.P. Anju's New, Old and Forgotten Remedies. As example, if we read the Avena sativa from the Borix Materia Medica, we find very small group of the symptoms in Borix Materia Medica. But if we want to read it to the full extent, we can use the book by the E.P. Anschutz. Then there is a book called the David Riley, Materia Medica of the New and of All the Homeopathic Medicines, Drugs of the Hindustan by Dr. S.C. Ghosh, and Rademacher's Universal and Organ Remedies. In this book, which is very similar to our Burnett's approach, all the organ remedies are given in these books. Then there is a Materia Medica by Dr. O.A. Julian, Materia Medica of the New Homeopathic Remedies, Julian's Materia Medica of the Noseworts. Then there are two books by Dr. Prakash Vakil, which one is The Tongue That Does Not Lie. In this book, various types of the tongues has been prescribed with their pictures. Then there is another book by the same author, which is a textbook of the homeopathic therapeutics, which is divided into the 3 volumes, part 1, part 2, and 3, in which mainly the therapeutics of the CVS, CNS, respiratory, as well as the ENTs are given. What is the peculiarity of this book? In this book, all the medicines are explained with the pictography. If there are therapeutics of the paralysis has been given, then there will be the sketch of the animal. During the particular part, particular medicine will be given. Then these are 3 books. The Genius of the Homeopathic Remedies by Gumate. In these books, various cases has been described along with the remedies. Then there is a book called the Kent's Comparative Repertory of the Homeopathic Materia Medica. Basically, this is the comparison of the Kent's own repertory. But in this book, the symptoms has been described with their Materia Medica portion. Like if there is a rheumatism, Rustrox and Brownia has been given. Then what are the symptoms of the Rustrox has been given? Very on the same page, as well as the Brownia on the same page. Then there is a book by the O.A. Julian, The Dictionary of the Homeopathic Materia Medica. Then these are the books by the Dr. Franz Vermeulen. If any students want to read any medicine in very detail, like from their introduction, from their source of the procurement, or their source with their ancient use, with their empirical use, what are the use of some particular medicines in the different field of the medicines, as well as in the routine life. The students can go through all these type of the books. Then there are the particular books by Dr. Franz Vermeulen, which is only based on the bird's remedy or on the arthropods. Then moving forward to the group study in Homeopathic Materia Medica. If we want to read the Homeopathic Materia Medica by their groups, so all the faculty members are aware with the group study in the Homeopathic Materia Medica by Dr. J.D. Patil. In this book, what is the importance of the group study? As well as the group study has been divided into the mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, or the vegetable kingdom. Then there is a book by Dr. Teste, a Homeopathic Materia Medica. In this book, medicines has been groupism with their sphere of the action. If any particular medicine has work on the nervous system, then all these medicines will be grouped and given in this book. Then there is a lecture on the clinical Materia Medica in family order by E.F. Farrington, and there is a perceiving by Dr. Arvind Jain. Then if anyone wants to read plant groups in very detail, so they can use all these books. Like one is the Insight into the Plants by Dr. Rajan Shankaran. This book is available, I think, 2 to 3 volumes. In there is a conversation between the patient as well as the physician, and then the particular family has been explained. Then there is the Flora Homeopathica by Edward Hamilton. Then there are the 2 books by Rupal Desai, re-exploring our magnificent plant as well as our magnificent plants. In this, these books are particularly based on the plant groups, like Ranunculaceae family, Solanaceae family. Then there is a book called The Wonderful Order by Michael Yakir and Wonderful Plants by the Jan Scholten. If anyone wants to read the Mineral Kingdom, they want to read the Mineral Kingdom by their groups. So the first one is by the Dr. Otto Lesser. Then some books are by the Jan Scholten, which is the Secret Lanthanides, Homeopathy and the Elements, and Homeopathy and Minerals. Then there is a particular book by Dr. Jawahar Shah, which is mainly based on the second row of the periodic table. So, lost classics in the homeopathy with beyond the syllabus. These are all the books we have studied over the BHMS, or we have known their name. But there are some books which are today either out of the print, or that you can hardly find them in your library. If your college library is very old, then you can find this type of the books. So in this series, the first book is by the Hahnemann's Homeopathy by Dr. Peter Model. So what is the given in this book? What is the concept of the high potency? What is the concept of the miasm? What are the miasmatic remedies? Which type of the remedies you should given in any type of the particular miasm? And what is the importance of the small doses? What is the potency selection criteria, as well as the some topics of the psychiatry has been given in a very easy language in this book. Then there is the book called The Potency Dilemma by Dr. Ajit Kulkarni. This is a very small booklet, but in this, Dr. Ajit Kulkarni has explained what are the different criteria for the potency selection. Then there is a small book by the Dr. Jetikan, what the doctors needs to know in order to make a successful prescription. In this book, Dr. Kant has explained what we should take care while we are prescribing, what type of the instruction we should give to the patient. Then there is two books by George Demetrius. First one is The Gleanings of the Homeopathic Philosophy, Experts from the Kant's Materia Medica with Commentary. All the one presents I have read the Kant's Materia Medica somehow. There are very some philosophical points or philosophical points given in some particular medicines of the Kant's Materia Medica. So in this book, what the Dr. George Demetrius has done, he has collected all these type of the paragraphs from the Kant's Materia Medica itself and has compiled in this small booklet. So we can read all type of the philosophical concept by the Dr. Kant by reading this book. Then there is a book called the Some Essays on the Homeopathy by the same author, in which he has again explained the various type of the potency as well as various features. Then there is a small booklet by Dr. Douglas Boland, Some Emergency of the General Practice. What type of the emergency cases we will face in our day-to-day life? So which type of the medicines we can prescribe in these cases? Then there is a book called The Study of the Materia Medica by Dr. S.K. Bhattacharya. So what is the peculiarity of this book? So in this book, even if the lycopodium has been given, then it has been given with their miasmatic role. Like a lycopodium, we can say it is the antisoric medicine. So what are the soric symptoms of the lycopodium? Like it is a basically the miasmatic study of any particular group. If we want to read a lycopodium from the all miasmatic perspective, we can go through this book. Then there is a book by Dr. Niranjan Mohanty, which is the Principles and Practice on the Diet. There are some cases as well as some hints given by our masters, as well as in the Boric and Allen Skinner, like a particular food should not be given with the particular medicines. Like if any patient has been given the allium cepa, then that particular patient should not consume the raw onion in the raw form. So this type of the things has been given in this Principles and Practice on the Diet by Dr. Niranjan Mohanty. Then there is a short study of the comparative Materia Medica. In this, various medicines has been given with their comparison with their another medicines. Then there is a book by the Classical Homeopathy with Rapid Classical Prescribing by Dr. Shubrata Banerjee. So we all have seen the various type of the hexagonal pattern on our social media, that medicine has been explained in that hexagonal manner. Like these are the 6 parameters of that particular medicines. So all these charts are given in this book. Students can find in this book. Then There is some essential reference in the repertory by Dr. K.D. Kanodia. Studies in the philosophy of being C.M. Boger. Then Guide to the Common Allopathic Drugs for the Homeopathic Practitioner by Dr. Farooq Master. These all the books are available right now. Those anyone can go through that one. And the content of this book are self-explanatory with that title. Then there is a book called The Repertory of the Characteristic Symptom, Clinical Pathogenetic of the Homeopathic Materia Medica by Jennings Lee. So what is the particular in this repertory? So in this book, repertory portion as well as the Materia Medica portion has been given, but each remedy has been given with the sphere of the action. So we can learn sphere of action and a particular remedy from this book. Then there is a very small booklet by Dr. H.C. Malhotra, which is a Menses and the Health, a ladies manual of the homeopathic care. So any disease condition or any physiological alteration faced by any woman with the therapeutics has been given in this book. Then there is a very good book by Dr. Grimmer, The Therapeutics of the Cancers, from the Masters of the Homeopathy. So in this book, Dr. Grimmer has given the various homeopathic remedies which can be useful in the cancer particularly. Then these all are the various books. The first one is The Common Disease of the Children by Rudolph, Tracking the Simillimum by Jonathan Shore, in which there are the cases has been given. Then there is a Principles of the Prescribing by Dr. K.N. Mathur. Then Golden Tips by Master Homeopathic Gems, D.P. Rastogi, and 50 millisiemal potency in Theory and Practice by Dr. Harimohan Chaudhary. In the last book, How We Should Prescribe the 50 millisiemal potency. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the 50 millisiemal? How we should prescribe or which type of the direction we should given to the patient has been explained in these books. Then there is a Materia Medica of the Differential Potency by Underwood. In this book, any particular medicine has been given with their potency selected. Like if we are given the lycopodium in the 30 potency, which type of the symptoms we can expect? If we are given the lycopodium in the 200 potency, which type of the symptoms we can expect? Like a potency wise, the medicine has been given in which that medicine particularly has been proven. Then there is a book by the Worcester, which is basically the repertory. But in this repertory, all the modalities related to the environment has been given, like in the relation to the temperature, air, water, weather, and seasons. Then there is a book by the Method of Memorizing the Materia Medica by Monroe. In this book, mnemonics of the various medicines has been given, like if there is a medicine given by allosocotrina, so the spelling of the allosocotrina has been written, and from there which symptoms we can remember, from the which symptoms we can remember of the allosocotrina. Around 50 medicines has been given with the mnemonics. Then there is a Pathogenetic Materia Medica by the Medical Investigation Club, Baltimore. This is the basically book of a review of the drug proving, and on the basic this book basically has the various type of the sphere of action of that particular book. Then there is the Clinical Repertory by Dr. Jeremy Sher. I think all of us have seen this type of the charts on our Instagram, Facebook, or any particular social media platform. So all these charts has been given in this book, Homeopathic Prescribing by Stephen Kane and Lee Kane. This book has been basically divided into the 3 parts, and majority of this book has this type of the flow charts that we can easily remember or anyone can easily understand. Then there is a book by Dr. Alicia Lee, Homeopathic Mind Maps, Remedy of the Animal Kingdom, Plant Kingdom, as well as the Ophidia group or the fish group or the plant kingdom. So this book has been given in the 3 parts, but in each part, every medicine has been given in the flow charts, which you can see on the screen. Like if the Rustox has been given, so this doctor has explained them with the flow chart or with the method of the mind mapping. So we can understand any symptom of the any medicine easily. Then we can understand the, okay, so up till now we have seen the various type of the reading. Like if we want to read the group study, so we can we can read the books by the various authors. Then if we want to study the plant kingdom, then we can read the various authors. So now if anyone wants to find the homeopathic literature in different manner, so you can go by the author. If I take Dr. William Borick as an example, then first of all I will read all the books of the Dr. William Borick, no matter what type of the genre he has written. Okay, so first three books are by Dr. S.P. Dev. First one is the Essay on the Homeopathy, which we can say is the mini organon. Like all the aspects of the organon has been given in this book very uh, in very easy language. Then there is a clinical experience with some nosers, which is basically based on the nosers of the H.C. Allen. Then there is a guide to the case taking and the case recording. Then the next author is the Dr. John Ware. Three books are mainly written by them. Which first one is the homeopathy. Second is the present day attitude of the medical profession towards the homeopathy, and the last one is the difficulties in the homeopathic prescribing. Which type of the difficulties will be faced by the physician while we prescribe the medicines? Whichever book you are seeing right now on the screens, they are hardly having 30 pages. If anyone wants to read any of this book, they can complete in hardly half an hour. But all the information of this book is very easy language. Then if you want to read the books by the Dr. Luc de Schaeffer, there are three books mainly available by Dr. Luc de Schaeffer. First one is the Hahnemann textbook of the classical homeopathy for the professional. Second one is the Achieving and Maintaining the Simillimum. And the last one is the Advanced Guide for the Professional Homeopath. In the first book, various type of the miasmatic prescriber, LM potencies, then which type of the symptoms we should procure from the case, which Dr. Luc de Schaeffer has used this book with the timeline of their references, like what Dr. Hahnemann has says, what Dr. Herring has says. Everything has been given in this timeline. Then what are the case management and what are the adjusting for the any type of the case we can cure. Then in the book of the Achieving and Maintaining the Simillimum by the same author Luc de Schaeffer, in this book has been divided into the 19 chapters, start from the Hahnemann's biography to the case management. And a third book, Advanced Guide for the Professional Homeopath. This book is basically the advanced version of the first two books. Then there are the two books by the Dr. Margaret Blackie, Classical Homeopathy and Challenges of the Homeopathy. So the first book is the Classical Homeopathy. In this particular book, Dr. Margaret Blackie has explained the difficulties faced by herself. Which type of the difficulties has been faced during the case taking process, during the case prescribing process, or during the management of the any type of the case. And in the next book, Challenges of the Homeopathy. So what are the challenges of basically these are the challenges of the homeopathy. Like what are the challenges that has been faced by the homeopathy itself. Then we all are known with the famous name of the Dr. Burnett. So these are the books by the Dr. Burnett. Disease of the skin, fistula, tumors, enlarged tonsils, gold as a remedy, curability of the cataract, the disease of the liver, disease of the vein, the changes of the life in woman, disease of the spleen, tumors of the breast, delicate backward punny and stunted children, gout and its cure. So these all are basically the therapeutics of that particular condition. If the book is on the tumor, then the Dr. Burnett has given all the medicines which will be helpful for us to cure any type of the tumor. If the book is the disease of the liver, And all the conditions of the liver as well as their homeopathic therapeutic has been given. So all the books from the previous slide has been written by Dr. Burnett itself. But there are the two books. One is The Best of the Burnett, which is compiled by Dr. H.L. Chitkara. And the second book is The Burnett Rediscovered by Dion Turbet. So in the book, The Best of the Burnett, what the Dr. H.L. Chitkara has been done, that he has compiled from all the previous books and made one single book. And in the book, Dr. Dion Turbet has explained the Burnett's concept. What is the pathological prescription? What is the pathological medicine? What is the pathological therapeutics in this book with the relation with the modern era? So still now we have seen all the books in their book form, like a real paper book. But we all know that today's generation is for the digital media. So the title says books to the bytes. Bytes are the basically the measurement of the any book in the digital form. Like previously, we all read the books. Like there are many senior practitioners are here. They go through the all the books. But as a generation of today, we mainly go through all the books on our phone, on our digital screens. But in between the books and the bytes, there is a brain. So whenever we are reading the books, we should compile first, we should comprehend that book first, then we should read that book on the digital platform. There are many books which are available today now in the PDF form, which are available on the Kindle. So any students can read all these books on these platforms. Then there is a saying that books are no more threatened by the Kindle than stairs by the elevators. So like how many Kindles we can purchase, or whatever the digital media is present there, but books place of the book cannot buy anyone. Like there were first of all there was any stairs, but elevators found later by. But if any building has been built up now, then there is always the elevator as well as the stairs. Then you should this both things should go side by side. Like if we are reading the books from the PDF, if we are reading the books from any digital media, we also should read the books from their paper form. Like there is a research saying that if we are reading from the digital screen, our mind cannot comprehend as well as we can read from that paper form. Okay. Still now we have seen the various books, but all the homeopathic literature, this is the just some drop from the very large ocean. So if anyone wants to read further, so that they can read from the Dr. George Vitholkas. There are the various books written by Dr. George Vitholkas, like Classical Prescribing, Materia Medica Viva, which is available, I think, in 13 volumes. Then there are various books written by Dr. Gorang Gaikwad, specifically on the nosodes, on the repertory. Then there are various books by Dr. Farooq Master, like basically the books from the Dr. Farooq Master are from the clinical bedside. Like all these tips from their book, we can use the clinical bedside. Then there are the books by Dorothy Shefford. There are various articles by Dr. David Little. Then there are very famous books by Dr. Ghanshyam Karathia, in which Dr. Ghanshyam Karathia has explained the birds' remedies. Any particular animal group of the kingdom has been explained by by Sir. Then there are the various books from the HHF, like a third eye prescription, or for the children's basically. Then there are the books by the Dr. Rohit Deshpande, ROH series, Rediscovery of the Homeopathic series. Various books by Dr. Rajan Shankar, Soul of the Remedy is one of them. Then the Essence of the Materia Medica is by Dr. George Vitholkas. Then there are very small booklets by the Bolen, by the Douglas Bolen, like basically the pneumonia, influenza. Then there are the various books by Dr. Sachindra and Bhavisha Joshi. Then there is a one particular aspect of the homeopathic literature which is based on the lesser writing. Like there are lesser writings available from the Dr. Hahnemann, Dr. Farrington, Dr. Kent, Dr. Bonninghausen, Dr. Boger. So, in the lesser writing, whatever the particular physician has explained, that which type of the cases or which type of the difficulties that particular physician has been faced during that time. Like in the lesser writing of the Dr. Bonninghausen, we can find our all the answers of the potency selection. In the lesser writing of the Dr. Kent, we can find out the very small remedies which are not very full proven during the times of the Dr. Kent. Then there are the various books by the Dr. Praful Vijayakar. So this slide particularly suggests only the some names that we can, there is a lot of homeopathic literature is available, but basically we should know that this type of the literature has been available, then we can read only. So this is just a small effort to read all these books, all from the particular schema of the homeopathic practice, from the particular authors, from the particular groups, or from the particular publishers. Then this is the book by Dr. Subhash Singh, 100 books a homeopathy should read. This is the very small booklet in which Dr. Subhash Singh has explained that what are the 100 homeopathic books every homeopath should read. In this book, Dr. Subhash Singh has given the various books of the Materia Medica, various books of the repertory, various books of the organon, various book of the case taking. So everyone should read this book, and this is the basically the index that there are the names of the book has been given. Then we should purchase that book and read that book. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Swati. Have you gone through all these books?
Almost 95% of the books has been read by myself.
I'm appreciating you from the bottom of my heart. I was wondering about your vast knowledge after reading all these books. I think many of us are hearing first time. Many books we don't. I'm not. I'm saying about myself. I don't even heard some books. Really appreciating you for your knowledge and for your suggestion to us. Thank you so much. And anyone want to ask anything to Dr. Swati, you can. Dr. Manoj, please.
Yes, well, congratulations. At least a lot of reference should be come in their mind of the persons who are watching the program. Hundreds of books are there, the literature. What is the specialty of our literature is that we can all these works are always effective because no medicines were banned, no medicines were useless, and so also the therapeutic is also very effective. Very nice presentation. Being a professional college teacher, it's a wonderful work. Congratulations for your endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj. Actually, this is the first time we are getting such a program. Like this is the first time one is introducing books here. That's a great thing. And Dr. Shaji Kudiat, sir, I think he's joined for the next program, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else have any question? Means you can ask to Dr. Swati. She is a mountain of knowledge. She have a mountain of knowledge. If anyone want to ask anything,
Doctor, sorry, what is what difference you see in between this pages and bytes you just mentioned in different the print media as well as the electronic media? What is the difference in the
Okay, sir.
perception knowledge? Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. There is a one research article, like a research has been done on the various peoples, like on the specifically on the various readers, not in our homeopathy, but as a in general. Like if the people are reading any book from any digital screens, what is the comprehending power? or what are the side effects, or what are the pros and cons of that particular reading. And if the same group has been given that similar book in the paper form, like our older form, in a hard cover, so their comprehending power as well as their thinking ability, their cognitive power, or their understanding of that particular has been increased in that paper form, not in the digital form.
Yes, because
There is a research article which says that, and there is a one another aspect of that thing, that if we are reading anything on the any digital platform, there are various distractions available, like there are the notifications,
yeah,
or there are the various very friendly applications, and we can easily switch by, or as well as not our latest digital platform, but the older digital platform are very harmful for the eyes as well, because
yes,
they were not the UV protected as well. But still now, today's digital platform are not like that much.
yes. In the recent days, the European countries, especially Sweden and Spain, I think they have shifted to this for the hard copies, especially in the lower classes. They in fact banned the use of the smart boards. Again, go to the blackboards. Then again, they're called the dumb phone, not the smartphone, but the feature phone. That is called as dumb phone. Then you go into the basics. So, as a teacher, you should insist your students. You should definitely read the book. That's an important thing.
Yes.
Dr. Bindu Kumar Pandey sir has some questions. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Actually, I am very much happy that she has collected so many books, and for each and every book, she has mentioned one or two lines. It is great. Second thing, my question, what I ask, that is a common question. Nowadays, the students and the fraternity, they are not purchasing book, they are reading the book from internet. Even in our college today, we had arranged a exhibition. The students and staff, they go through the exhibition, but they are not taking interest, because of course the latest edition you will not get in internet, but the previous edition you will get in internet. That's why the students and the fraternity, they are not taking interest to read hard copy. But in my view, hard copy, as she mentioned rightly, that the understanding and remembering and interest of reading hard copy is far better than anything that has been reading in digital or computer, because there is so many distraction as well as interference or interruption is there. So that's why it is better to purchase a book, because book is a friend which can give you, which can help you everywhere wherever you want. That's why, and the books in different way, what she has mentioned, like therapeutic, mathematics, philosophy, and reference. So there are different types of books. If you are having a small library, then you can improve or enrich our knowledge, and it will help us to do good practice, in my view, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bindu Prasad Panda. Now, Dr. Danesh, what do you want to say? Please.
Yes, Dr. Swadhi Salangi, it's really a very good session. Congrats. And since there is no time, I am going to conclude the session. And I would like to announce tomorrow's program. Tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Rakshit Kumar Ramavat. He is assistant professor, Rajkot Homeopathic Medical College, and we'll be talking about Ebola virus and homeopathy. So another big day is waiting for you.
Thank you, Dr. Danesh. Thank you once again, Dr. Swati. And we have been conducting this webinar for more than 5 years. First time a unique presentation. You have given a unique presentation. Thank you so much. And my request is you have to come with each book. You have to introduce here each book, so that will be beneficial for everyone. Thank you so much. Love you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the platform.
Thank you everyone for participating the last session. Now I am inviting Dr. Manoj for moderating Malayalam session. This is the end of the English session. Bye bye. Thank you. Good night. See you tomorrow, same time.